Thanks for watching. On this video I show you some technique how to handle with the hammer line. Of course you need a certain equipment to do this. As you remember on one of my videos I show you that how I glue the hammerheads on the shanks. I use the laser devices. What it means? It means all my hammerheads glued already on the certain precision dimensions. That is on the Steinway is 5 1/8 inches. That's the distance from the center of the flange to the center of the molding. And that's a 5 1/8. All of them like this. What we're gonna do, I show you when I put the action inside, what we're gonna do next, how much we need to adjust our hammer lines in order to get the best possible sound from the piano. Let's put this action inside the piano and we proceed with this technique. As you see, I put just paper on the keypad just for do some measure. Now the action inside the piano. Be sure that it's on the side blocks and your front slip is just working good for your piano, not touching the keys. And generally it's supposed to be okay because we use the same dimensions like Steinway. But what we just have to achieve here, as you start to play the keys on the piano, you notice that some of them create some kind of not nice overtones. And you, by moving the action inside and outside, you can notice that the quality of the sound change. That's why you can find the way where there's the best sounding piano. And I show you how it works. We just release this side block and we try to see what's happened with the sound when we move it slightly. You see, it starts to distort it. It's changing. Of course, the quality of the sound depends on your experience. Unfortunately, we don't have any equipment that show you the right position. That's why every technician based on his personal experience. And I noticed by doing hundreds of the Steinways that all of them, the high treble section, not straight. Some hammerheads a little bit in a different position. That's what we're gonna do it. That's what the Steinway's technician did 100 years ago to achieve the best thing. Why it's happened like this? It's a very complicated issue. It needs a lot of research here. It might happen because the bridge is a little bit on a different position, maybe because of diameter of the strings, many things involved in this. But anyway, how we do it? Once we put the piano on a position desired accordingly the side blocks, we just put a straight line on our paper. That's going to be our position after we complete our job. But now we want to find the best position for all these keys. Let's select, let's say F sharp. F sharp, as you see, the sound is kind of a little bit distorted. And once I move it, it changes. And that's, on my experience, that's the best sounding key. And I just put a line here. Let's see how much I move it from original position. As you see, look, it's almost 1/8 difference. If I try some other keys, I did it already. You see, it's going to be less. When I do all of them, I might notice that it's going to be curved on my hammerheads. Most technicians, they don't do it, But if you want to achieve the really high quality sounding on the Steinway, you have to do this procedure. And of course, how are you going to do it? You have to extract the hammerhead and glue it on another position. That's a little bit complicated if you don't have the proper tool. And I want to show you how I do it on my laser device. Now I want to show you this device that I use for gluing the hammerheads. And you probably remember that I use the Steinway dimensions. Look, here is the old Steinway number 88, a shank with the hammerhead. As you see, the tip of the hammerhead is almost lined up with my laser beam right here. And of course the hammerhead already filed, that's why we don't know how it was originally, but we know this 5 1/8 inch, that's a Steinway dimension. It's based on our experience. It means we glue all our hammerheads on this distance. But as you remember, I showed you that one of the hammerhead looks like it's off like 1/8. And this device, look what its advantage of here. I can move all my shank on a certain distance. And here on these sides, you can see, you see, that's how much I move it. That's the distance that I move my shank forward. It means my hammerhead gonna be glued on the 1/8. Let's say like this. If I have to do it in another direction, it shows me here the gap on this side. Of course, you don't want to just on this side because the hammerhead is going to be longer. That's why you have to calculate it very carefully. Anyway, let's say if I move it 1/8, like it's a deviation on my paper. Like I check it first with my caliber, of course. Let's say I get it from my paper this distance, and then I transfer it here like this, right? Once I did it, you see, I can use my laser beam here to glue my hammerhead in the center. It means, since it was glued originally in a 5/8, I can glue it exactly on this distance that I already get from my paper. This unit enable you to glue the hammerheads precisely, and after I do it by laser beam, they just perfectly produce a nice sound. In order to do this, you need to make this unit. And like I told you before, that if you design and make one for yourself, it's going to give you a lot of advantages. First of all, you glue the hammerheads perfect. Later on, you can replace the hammerheads if you have to on different positions and achieve the best quality sound. Thanks for watching, and we'll be glad to see you next time.